So the first UK stock to trigger my buy signals is Telecom Plus, TEP. So this hit a super oversold signal this week. And my backtester says that these have a pretty good record. There's only one previous one that failed. So that was a 13% loss, which wasn't too bad really. And then we'd have made it back on these. The previous ones were really good. So I've had a look on Hargreaves Lansdown, and apparently the company has just had a bit of a accounting rejig or something. The overall customer numbers are up, so the business does look good. I don't think it's going to go to zero or anything. Obviously do your own research. We're kind of in a very nice long-term uptrend. I've also double checked on fast graphs. Again, we're in a nice long-term uptrend. So this one's looking really oversold. So I'll probably get some of this one next week. Next is Whitbread, which made a gap down buy signal. So this one's kind of meandering, not going up, not going down. These are pretty good for swing trading normally. So the expectancy is not huge. I think we got hosed on this one, but that was like COVID, so it's kind of unlikely that something like that would happen again. And then we made a lot of money back on these. These are really good. So Whitbread's a huge company, large cap, £4 billion worth. Let's see, in the last 10 years. This kind of looks good. Even on this crappy chart here, you can see that's kind of probably support. Just says they've had a bit of bad news from the budget or broker downgrades. So let's see in fast graphs. Obviously they got hit hard by COVID being in the leisure sector. The dividend looks well covered, I think. They're only paying out about half their earnings, so that's okay. This thing reckons they're going to grow quite significantly. So I like this one as well. Rhodium are staying out of metals. Firstgroup. So this is another super oversold. And this one has quite a good rate of return. See, so we lost money on this one. But it was only a loss of 10%, and we broke even on that one. So I kind of like it here more than when it was up there. I think they messed up their trains operations or something. They've got very high earning per share here. Definitely a cash cow, this business, and very generally underrated. So I don't think there's too much risk buying at this level. Octopus, Renewables. I think I bought this one, but I was way too early on this one. This is another super oversold. So it does have a good record, although usually I hate things in a long-term downtrend. So stuff rarely goes down in a straight line. It will kind of bounce on the way down. It probably would bounce from here. Green energy is kind of high risk, but I think so much bad news is priced in now. Card Factory. This was one of the first ones that I started buying when I started trading. This looks pretty good expectancy. This is a kind of swing trading dream here, I think. So unless they have a diabolical Christmas, it'll probably bounce from there. There doesn't seem to be much upside though. But with Card Factory, it all depends really on whether they have a good Christmas or not. Unite Group, this does student accommodation. And what was this? A gap down. These have really been smashed lately. I'm not too sure what's going on. Could be a good support here though. I have way too much of this already. I was buying up here really, so I should have waited on this one. I don't know how much more downside there will be in these student ones. If they start cutting rates aggressively, then they should soar, I think. Auto Trader Group, that's more interesting. So this one has a good expectancy from being super oversold. It's only happened 3 times in the last 10 years. I think this one will recover. So this one looks pretty undervalued. It's not been below the orange line very often in its history, really. So this could be an amazing buying opportunity. Of course, there is the possibility that it becomes even more super oversold. But here is kind of good support, I would think. And this is another one, Renewables. Did we do this one? So there's Bluefield Solar and Foresight Solar. So Bluefield Solar is super duper oversold. This is a new indicator. So I've just put this one in. It doesn't happen very often, but it has a generally higher win rate than the regular super oversold. So I've made another video about this if you're interested. So the expectancy is really good on these. That was the COVID crash, of course. And we've had 3 good ones in a row, so no reason why this one shouldn't bounce. It's even more oversold down here. This one I think is a slightly larger business, probably rated at a bit more of a premium. Again, this one is severely oversold now. I don't think we've had any super dupers. Oh, we did have 2 super dupers, so it might get a bit more oversold. And we only lost 14%, but if we were hodling it for 2 years, then we probably would have made 14% back in dividends, so this one pretty much would have broken even. If there's any good news at all, then I'm sure this one will soar back upwards. I think that's pretty much it. Beasley, I think that's a house builder. What was that? Gap down. The house builders can be really good for swing trading. It's had a good run up though, so I don't know, maybe it's got a bit overbought right now. And there's a few more. I think I covered these last week. CNC Group makes cider. Doc Martens makes shoes. Judges Scientific. I couldn't buy this one on Trading 212. I did have a profitable paper trade, but I couldn't actually buy it. This is a really small company. So I think that is the pick of this week's. The market generally had a really big up week, so there's not a huge amount of interesting things, but there are a surprising number of good ones, so I think I'll have a bit of a buying frenzy on Monday morning. Hope you found that interesting. Remember to do your own research before you buy any of these stocks. Thanks for watching.